All right, Kyle Busch wins, and we know that he didn't have the most dominant car. He leads only the last lap. In fact, he really only led the last 100 yards or so because of this classic finish with Chase Briscoe and Tyler Reddick. Let's get to it now. It was an incredible last lap of the race. Briscoe's running down Reddick, and here he is in turns 3 and 4. He slides up into him, and Reddick nearly is able to drive back to the line, but is unable to get there before Kyle Busch passes him on the outside. When you have a last lap pass like this, I mean, it's crazy, it's memorable, and this is a situation you've been in before, Ryan.
Oh yeah, 2018 Roval. I mean, Truex and Jimmy wrecked each other, and I was running third, and the seas parted. I mean, much like they did there, and so I know that feeling of, the leaders wrecking each other, you running third a good ways back, not expecting to win, and end up with a checkered flag. So it's a weird feeling at first.
Do you know who finished second that day?
You did.
Yeah.
I knew the answer to that. It's here you are asking questions you know the answer to, right?
Yeah, it was, so it's an odd feeling, doing that, but I didn't know what I felt about, what I wanted to feel like for a long time. But then you kind of sit back and you think, well, we had a good restart here. We put ourselves in position that if something happened, we could capitalize on it. And that's what Kyle did too. I mean, he got a great restart to get himself into third, and those guys got racing, and it worked out. But yeah, now he and I have very similar wins with the seas parting. So, hey, there's no pictures on the scorecard. That's what they say. So there is replay of races, though. I guess we can go back and look at it.
I think when you look at this situation, you got to take the players into account, the two drivers. Both of those guys have a dirt background. Tyler Reddick, I think, knew what was coming going into turn 3, and Chase Briscoe had been in that position before on dirt. I feel like if we reverse this, as you see Chase Briscoe slide up, you also got to look at it and be like, is it malicious? Is Chase Briscoe going in there trying to knock Tyler Reddick out of the way? He wasn't. He was trying to pull a slide job, and he admitted afterwards that he knew that he was in trouble when he got down into the corner. But you also have to live with the decisions you make, and I think if Chase Briscoe doesn't make that move, he beats himself up today, tomorrow, throughout this week, like, what if? Because he did run Tyler back down, looked to have the best car, but obviously that top lane was where you wanted to be. This will be a completely different story today if that's Kyle Busch and Joey Logano. Both of those guys don't really have a dirt background, and they both are a little more aggressive in post-race interviews.
Yeah, and I think the fans would have weighed in at a much higher level as well if you had those two polarizing superstars and the race had ended that way. Here's what we're talking about. The two, Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe, actually getting along and seeing eye to eye on this post-race. Regan talked to him once we saw the checkered flag.
I get it.
I tried, I was going to spin out, I think, either way. And then I was like, oh, please don't get him with the right rear. Please don't get him with the right rear. And I saw it, but I'm sorry. I just wanted to let you know.
Hey, you did have a job running me down.
I kept trying. I was driving it so hard. I couldn't run it any harder. But I'm sorry. I wish you would have won.
I needed to drive away, and, I let you get close. So
that's all right. I just wanted to apologize.
It's all good.
Yeah, anybody, that's fun, though.
Until next time.
Yeah.
It's still hard for me to believe that was the reaction after so many laps of competing like they did, and for it to end that way. You were down there with them. What did you feel emotionally when those two connected and talked about it?
Well, I'm still in disbelief right now today sitting here that wasn't a lot rowdier than what it was. I mean, let's be honest. When a driver comes up to another driver after getting into them at the end of the race, essentially wrecking them for what would have been a win and a first win in Tyler's situation there, you're prepared for anything. I was talking to Tyler, and they had mentioned that Chase had walked up and was standing over there, and we thought, well, we're going to get a word with him real quick. As post-race celebrations go, it's usually quick off air, and you got to hurry up and get as many guys as you can. And I turned around, and he was walking up already, and I'm like, uh-oh, well, I guess we're not going to get a word. And they started talking and explaining themselves, and I think to Chase's credit, that's a tough situation as a driver to put yourself in, to walk up to somebody after that and whether you're apologizing or explaining to them what took place or whatever it may be, a lot of credit for him for doing that.
Yeah, and it was the right thing to do, for Chase to go up and apologize for that move. And like Jamie said, it wasn't malicious. He didn't try to wreck him. He didn't drive in there and nail him in the bumper and spin him out and go on and win the race. He just tried to pull a slider. And honestly, it was hard to pull a slider in these things, with the bottom being so slick, and those cars just didn't have a ton of grip to get in way faster than the guy running the top. You're already carrying so much speed. So I know what Chase was doing. He was just trying to go for the win. And so it's good that those guys settled it how they did. And everyone's going to react differently. You know, everyone's going to react differently than Tyler did. We're all unique people, but I did expect a little more than that. I was standing by my car and I had my eyes peeking over there what was going to happen, but you know, it was nice they were able to move on.
Hey, race fans, thanks for watching our video. For all NASCAR on Fox news, content, and the best clips from Fox Sports, be sure to follow and subscribe to our channel.